Good evening, everyone. National Sales Director Linda Tupin. As we continue to work with our hostess, the most important person in our marketing plan is the hostess. If you remember, she is the liaison between you and your community, between you and her family. She knows 150 families you don't know, and so she is the influencer. And we've learned the importance of working with the influencer, and so tonight we're going to continue that process. But before we do, I would like to review very briefly what we have talked about in weeks prior. So if we can, just real quickly. Last week, we talked about keywords, that our hostess was our business partner, and that we learned to say that Mary Kay is free. Whether we're taking a reorder or we're just having a conversation with people, that they can get Mary Kay for free or at a considerable discount. We talked about the importance of Mary Kay's hostess plan and why it is so brilliant. It is the only hostess plan out there that actually, move this up here. It is the only hostess plan actually that rewards the hostess for only doing two things, and that's selling the product and getting 2 bookings. And when she gets 2 bookings, basically she is doubling her free product. And then we talked last week about the importance of segue words. Instead of asking yes or no questions, because there's nowhere to go from a no, that you just use segue words like, I've got a great thought. Oh, by the way, did I tell you? Now, what most people do, you know what? I've got the best idea. Just wait till you hear this. You know what? Let's just gather 2 of your most fun friends together and we'll get 75 for 35. That way you'll get at least 40 free and then we'll work on some more. Those were key points from last week. We also last week talked about the importance of that people buy you before they buy the product. It's important not just in an appearance, but the way you treat people, that you're kind, that you're generous, and that you truly care about them. And your job is to help her get that product at a discount or free. Your first thought for every sale is, how can I help her get it for free? When you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want, whether it's the hostess, a team member, or your offspring sales director. We talked about the importance of eliminating words that suggest anything about getting your starter kit just to buy your products at half price. That is not a better deal. What is a better deal is a hostess that gets her products for free. We talked about, when we talk about the business and the starter kit, we talk about our hopes and our dreams and owning our own company and calling our own shots. We also discussed the importance of having a perfect party hostess gifts in the center of the table. That's $250 in sales, 2 bookings, and 2 interviews. And remember, your job is to help her get what she cannot afford. She is your business partner. So if for any chance you begin to see that your hostesses really just aren't the caliber of people that you really need for them to be very intentional about who you're booking as your hostesses. We want hostesses who are influential, women who are good with people, women who are social, who are goal-oriented, who are natural gatherers of people. They're the givers. They're the givers in their church. They're the givers in their community. And so those women make beautiful, wonderful hostesses as well as team members. We never talk about the 10 or 15% on the hostess plan. We always talk about the 20, and the fact that you're always going to cycle that party again in 3 months. So every party that you hold in October, you would automatically have 1 booking for January, because again, we're getting new products, we're getting our spring products, and that group will be the first to see the new products. And we talked about the importance of learning how to deal, how to think on your feet, how to offer a gift anytime there is a weak link in our business. And so tonight, and this was the hostess plan, and I will be sharing that with you in a publisher document so that you can adjust it. For those of you who are listening that are not part of my unit, I will put you in touch with the girl who created it, and she'll be happy to create that for you. We are going to add one thing to this flyer, and that's the fact that with 2 career chats, those women get a chance at $1,000, because that is something that we do in our national area. One other thing that we're going to add, you guys, is that right here, as you put these gifts in the center of the table, and again, that's why I'm sending it to you in Publisher, so if you want to put different gifts in the center of the table, you can do that. You can just substitute these. I've asked Scarlett, my gal, to make us a sign that you actually put, like a tent sign that you put in the center of the table that says, you can have a chance at $1,000 when I share the career opportunity with you. Because whatever is the most important to you, and these are the things that are most important to you and to your hostess, is got to be in the center of the table. All right, so now we're going to look tonight on the 3 times that we coach a hostess. Hang on just a second here. All right, 3 times that we coach a hostess. First of all, the first time that you coach a hostess is when you initially book her. And it's very important, as we've already talked about, that you know what her goal is. And once you know what her goal is, you know how to multiply it by 5, and that gives you the dollar amount that she will need to sell at her party with 2 bookings. The second thing that you do in preliminary coaching is equip her. You equip her with lookbooks and samples. Hang on just a second. I want to show you something before I go any further. Before I go any further, I want to talk to you about Maslow's hierarchy. You hear me train on Maslow's hierarchy all the time because it affects every part of our business. But as you can see, on a person's basic needs, safety and security is like right there with air, food, and sleep and water. And so oftentimes people do not book, or they cancel their booking because they're scared they will fail. They don't feel equipped, or that they know what they're doing, and that this would be hard for them to round up their friends. And so when you're thinking about running your business and having lots of hostesses, you have to take all that fear away. So what takes that fear away? Well, the most important thing that takes that fear away is your confidence. The confidence that you know how to help her, that you will be with her every step of the way. Just like we just watched Misty guiding her hostess to get all of her guests registered for her party. All of those are things that make the hostess feel confident that the people are coming, that the people are interested, and that the people are excited. And you know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong, you guys, by saying, hey, I've got this. We're going to have an amazing party. Just follow my lead. I know what to do. All of those are confidence words that say to her, you know, I know how to do this, and I know that we can do it great, and we will have a wonderful party. All right, so just remember, everything, all the words that you're using need to be safety and security words that imply to her that you've got this, that you know how to do this, and that it's all going to work out. Okay? All right, so you also want to make sure that her friends are invited to register on your website, just like Misty showed us a second ago. And this is one of those places that you might want to add an incentive. We talked about staying away from hostess plans that had too many parts and components to it. We also talked about how those hostess plans were developed because people learned to pivot, and they began to realize they were giving incentives for various and sundry weaknesses. And so I still believe it's best to keep your hostess plan strictly Mary Kay, that you strictly work with the more you sell and the more bookings you get, the more free product you get. You can say that in one sentence, and you can multiply by 5 really, really easy to come to that 20%. However, there are going to be times that you want to throw an incentive at her, and right here is probably one of those times. You want her to listen to choices prior to the class. And so you have the recording and you have the passcode, or you have an actual CD. And so right here might be a place to give her an incentive to listen to choices before you arrive at the party. And you know what? There is nothing stopping you after your guests have registered for the party. Those who registered first and really did the best job, right there tells you there's a lot of interest, that she is interested in your product and she is interested in this class. She might be another person that says, hey, you seem like a girl who really likes to win. I've got another small gift for you if you listen to Choices, which is it's a motivational recording, and ask her how long her drive to work is. Because anytime that you're asking someone to listen to Choices, you want to make sure that they're listening as they drive to work. Most people have at least a 20-minute drive to work, and they can listen to it driving and coming home. Or find out if she's got like an exercise class or something, or a walk or a run that she does that she could listen while she's doing those things. So that's all in your preliminary coaching, all right? For telephone or pre-class coaching, and this is usually done 3 days prior, you want to review the list with your hostess of who all is coming, and then check on her outside sales. All right, and so one of the things that you want to do with her, depending on what this number is, when we said know her goal, then we know the number she's got to hit. Most people are going to need to hit between $400 and $600 in sales to probably get what they want. And so you're going to need some outside sales just to kind of build her confidence and also assure her that she's going to reach that goal, or at least get very close to it. And so you want to give her at least 5 sales tickets. Now, when we say equip her, we're talking about lookbooks, and we're talking about maybe a miniature satin hands or something that she can demo, like at her job or with the girls in her neighborhood, whoever her circle of influence is. And so when we talk about our goal, you know, we want to include the fact that, hey, I think that we can get several $100s in outside sales. Sometimes the word several $100s or $200 could scare her. She might actually think you said 2,000. You know, we say 200 because we know we can do that in a day, but she doesn't know that. And so you're going to have to read her body language and kind of know her personality to know which direction to take with her. But I would suggest giving all my hostesses at least 5 sales tickets. And just say, I challenge you, you know, to fill up the 5 sales tickets. And again, there's an opportunity to throw it like another gift, maybe a free eyeshadow or a free makeup brush of some sort in there. Again, just kind of depending, you're going to have to learn to pivot, and you're going to have to learn to think on the spot and take everything but a case-by-case basis. Some people don't need that gift, or they don't need that encouragement. Other people will. So you've got to think on the spot and know when to do that. The third time that you coach her is kitchen coaching. Now, before you get to the party, you want to make sure that all of the outside orders that she has sold is already written up, and you have those bagged up ready to give her. And that saves you a ton of time when you get to the party. And then when you arrive, Mary Kay said you always give a hostess a sincere compliment on her home. And people know whether you're sincere or not. And so find something about her home that you admire. And so once you have done that, you want to ask her, where do you want me to set up? Don't assume it's going to be her dining room table or her kitchen table. Sometimes she has a bar area. Sometimes they want to use the pool table or the ping pong table, or they may even want to sit on the floor around the coffee table. Don't assume, just always ask. Also ask her where she wants you to do satin hands, whether it's in the bathroom or the kitchen. Remind her, and you will only forget this one time, to keep the refreshments to the end of the party, because you know and I know the moment the food comes out, then the attention goes to the food and not to the Mary Kay program. And so you just really want to be careful that you have reminded her, because a good hostess about midway through is going to go, oh my gosh, I bet you guys are starving. And so now she's loading the table down with food. And so you don't want that. All right. You know, we certainly want them to have something to drink, but you really want to keep the food to the end. And it is in your kitchen coaching that you actually do the first point of the 4-point recruiting plan. And the first point of the 4-point recruiting plan is asking your hostess, who is coming tonight that you think would be good at doing what I do other than yourself? You guys just say it. Even though it may seem awkward to you at first, just say it. Now, obviously, only say it if you're sincere about her. You know, I mean, other than herself. I mean, that's assuming that you would want to be, you know, her to be your team member. If she isn't somebody that you want to have as your team member, then you would just simply end it at who is coming tonight that you think would be good at doing what I do. And so those are the 3 times that you preliminary coach. Now, I do want to share with you, I gotta find it here just real quickly, and I apologize. I thought I had it pulled up. Maybe I don't. Let's go back to your welcome packet, because we've been working on your welcome packet, and so much of your welcome packet, you guys, has everything that you need in it when you're starting the business. And so just real quickly here, I want to show you, I think all of you have this CD. When you were new in my unit, I gave you this CD called Preparing for a Successful Business Debut. But this is a lot more than just a business debut CD. This is about how to follow up with people after they've been to the business debut. And it really falls in line right here with preparing this woman who has booked to do the business, to have her party. And so, hang on just a second, let me go back to where were we? All right, so this is straight from the welcome packet, and it's just going to say a lot of the things that I've already said, but I think it's noteworthy to know that Mary Kay said that a party worth booking is worth coaching. So many times we don't coach a hostess because we're afraid if we talk to her too much, she'll change her mind. And nothing could be further from the truth. Remember Maslow's. The more you talk with her and the more you get her excited and the more you help her and you coach her, you're not doing it for her, you're coaching her, because this skill is the same skill that you'll use when you have a new team member. All right, so the preliminary coaching for a business debut after someone is booked is exactly the same coaching pretty much as you have with any party. That's to get the guest list. And remember, you know, at a business debut, people are giving you 20 and 30 names. And so you really want to make sure that you know the people she's inviting to the party. And if she thinks she's going to invite 30 people, you might want to say, you know, that's 3 parties, because if you invite 10, about 5 will come. And so it is not to your advantage to have a party of 20 people. Nothing good will come from that other than chaos, and you'll be very tired. Again, preliminary coaching, explaining the hostess program, multiplying the number by 5 so she knows what her goal is. If I'm your hostess, I need to know what I need to sell, and I need 2 bookings. That's all I need to know. And then you equip me with the lookbooks and the samples and the sales tickets so that I can go do it. Now, I've already said here, give her 5 order forms. Oh, give her the words to say when she invites her guest. And so you guys, I can write you out words, but I just think the easiest way to learn how to script is, what would you want someone to say to you? I would want someone to say, Linda, I'm having a Mary Kay party, and she told me she wanted me to invite my best friends who were the most fun. And I immediately thought of you. You know, you always, you know, love makeup, or you love taking care of your skin. And I just think you would be the perfect person to have at my party. And I'm only limited to 5 people, and I would be honored if you could come. That's what I would want you to say to me. But you have to think, what would you want someone to say to you? I want to teach you, as the consultant in my unit, how to write your own scripts. And that's the way you write a script. What would I want someone to say to me that would convince me to come? All right, so giving her the 5 order forms, and we know that the average ticket price is $40, all right? And so we know that if we do that, that she's going to at least have $100 to $200 in outside sales before we come. And those are the people who can't come to the party. So again, those are more names and more phone numbers for you. And if we follow Missy's advice and have those people register on the site, then we have all of their information, and we also have all the products there that is recommended for her. Can you see where you only need to know one person to build a Mary Kay business, how quickly it multiplies when you start taking care of all these little components? Coach her on refreshments, keep it simple, or if she's a person who loves to entertain, let her be extravagant. You know, sometimes our filter kind of messes us up. Like, we don't want to cook and we don't want to have to deal with all that, but what if that's her gift? What if that's her joy? What if that's why people come? So, you know, let her be the judge of that. And if she wants to cook a big meal, or she wants a whole bunch of food and fancy food, that's her joy. Don't take her joy away from her. And so let her do what she wants to do there. I do think it's important that you send a thank you note to her in advance. And we're talking about an old-fashioned vintage thank you note, the one that comes in the post office, all right? Remember, the way to stand out in a crowd is to do what the crowd is not willing to do. And then immediately begin to talk with her as if she is already your top hostess, preparing her to be honored in our unit's quarterly hostess contest in your town. So find out from your adopted director when the hostess contest is. Most of them have a hostess contest every 3 months. If they don't, have your own. Take them to a fun bed and breakfast and have a tea party, or take them to a fun restaurant where you can have just desserts or something fun you created if it has not been created for you. You guys, long before we ever had our fancy hostess programs or whatever, and I was just a consultant, nobody was doing this stuff, I had fun things at my house every few months for my hostesses. And that was all I talked about, was them getting to come to my house, or them getting to come to a cookout or whatever. They were the most important people in my life that was associated with my business. And so if I'm your hostess, be sure that you're telling me, like, straight up, oh my gosh, Linda, we have this great contest, and I can just tell from the kind of person you are that you love to win. I think you can win. I'm going to help you. I think you will be one of our top hostesses. See, that's belief. You pour belief into people with your words and your confidence. Remember Maslow's safety and security? It's all about confidence. And then I want you to review how to have a successful business debut CD. Like I said, it's more than just the debut. It's about how to follow up with all of those people that came to the debut, which is exactly the same thing that you will be doing in order to coach your hostess. All right, if for any chance you do not have the business debut CD, you just simply go to lctchoices.com, lctchoices.com. And there you can actually pick up a successful business debut CD. Now, it is important for the Tupan National area, for those of you who are watching in our area, that you go to my website after you have a party and that you register your party. All right, your parties are logged on my website under links, videos, and blogs. And when you click links, right here, it says enter your parties right there. And so that is where you would tell me all about your party, who it was there, how many people were there, and so forth and so on. And that enters her into the drawing, and you enter the drawing for the $1,000. And we do that drawing in July of each year. Even if the party is not fully qualified, we can qualify it later. All right, having said all of that, let me review my notes here just a quick second. Share. Make sure. All right. All right. I think that's our topic for tonight on how to coach your hostess, and also with Misty's portion of how to get the guests registered on your website before you get there. I hope you're beginning to see that you don't need to know a lot of people. I've always said you only need to know one person to start this business. You can start this business in any town. And if you work with her and you provide safety and security and vision and belief in her, and you partner up with her, you will have more business than you know what to do with. Because once the guests see how you've worked with her, they expect the same treatment. They know that you're going to help get the guests there, that they're going to fill out the form. They're going to see exactly what you did, and you start this really snowball effect, because what people are seeing is you help people win. And the most amazing part about that, you guys, they realize that if you can help them win at a party, you can help them win at this business. And if you can win at this business, you can win at life. Because what most people don't have in their life is a cheerleader. They don't have someone who believes in them. They don't have someone who calls them and texts them and encourages them. They don't have anybody writing them personal notes. You stand out so far away from the crowd, they want to do business with you. They can't wait for 3 months for you to come back and do another party, because it was such a positive experience. And that's what you're creating by taking her as your business partner, building her safety and security, and building her confidence. Thank you for being part of this tonight. And for those of you who are watching this live, stay online.